Welcome to Keeping It Real, where we talk business, money, and mindset.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Keeping It Real podcast. It is your host, Richard, and as always, I have a really special guest with me today. I'm going to introduce him in a second, but, this guest I've known for almost 3 years now. We actually connected back in the days when I was drop shipping, when he was drop shipping. And, in this online crazy world, bro, you're going to meet a lot of people. And a lot of them, won't stay with you, but it feels like me and Zeke, man. We've been friends since time. We've been linking up, I say almost every year ever since then. What do you think, Zeke? Yeah.
Every couple months I've seen you. I see you all the time online.
Right.
I can't not see you online.
Right. So anyways, I guess might as well introduce, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Might as well introduce you while you're here, And today I got my really, really good friend Siddiqui, who also goes as Zeke from GBG, right? Sorry. My bad.
Yes.
I got it right.
You got it right.
Zeke from GBG, man. And today we're going to talk about a lot of different topics. Because Zeke, man, I've known him for 3 years. And every time I link him, we have some of the best conversations, Can never forget the Brooklyn Times back in, 2018, 2019. Wow. Some good times, man. Some amazing conversations. And I wanted to bring him on and, not only just asking questions, but just have a conversation, because you guys got to understand a lot of these podcast guys, it's between really good friends, like Zeke is a really good friend, and just our conversations alone bring a lot of value, I believe. Like yesterday we were on a call and I'm like, damn, Zeke, we already, spit so much. I can't wait for the podcast.
You could have recorded that.
Yeah, we should have recorded that, but don't worry, we still got some fire for you. Anyway, Zeke, for the people that don't know you, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay, so I have helped many, many, many men become pimps. That's one thing I do.
Many men.
I've helped many men. Oh my God. I've helped so many people get more in tune with themselves and reach just a state of more inner peace. I've inspired tons of people to keep meditating and all that. And, but besides all the stuff that I've done, I want to talk about who I am.
Right.
I'm someone who I want everybody to be the best version of themselves. I understand that I'm a businessman, Splash is a businessman, and that we have to be very logical when we do certain things. But I'm the kind of guy who I want to still come from a place of love. Mm-hmm. I want to serve the people who are paying me. And I find that when I'm coming from a service-based mindset, I feel happy. The customer feels happy. It's a win-win. So I'm the kind of guy, yes, I've done things, but really it's all about just spreading peace and just everybody growing. That's my focus when it comes to just everything. So that's kind of a summary of me.
That's amazing, bro. And I love that, you said that, because I feel like I'm on the same vibe. And I think that is why we will win long term, bro, because we truly care, us seeing our clients successful means more than the invoice they pay when it's, when it's time for their coaching or whatever, right? And I think that is why, we run our businesses. That's why our businesses have seen success, and why we will continue to see more success and win in the long run is because we truly care about the humans. It's not just the money aspect. It's just not, oh, fuck you, pay me of it. It's, I truly, if you're spending your hard earned money and trusting me with your future and with you trusting me to teach you something that you don't know, I'm going to put all my attention in you and really take care of you, because, I think as a business owner, that's your ethical, that's a moral thing you have to do. You know what I mean?
100%. And this is kind of a bonus, but this makes the client stick. When people see that you actually care, saying? From my experience, that's what makes them stick. That's what makes them long-term clients. And a lot of guys in business, I feel like they're working hard when they should just be working a bit smarter. Instead of just trying so hard just to get, new client. Why not just have the same client pay you over a long period of time? Why not just have reoccurring payments? And I find that when I come to business with a win-win mindset, the clients stick, and I could work smarter and not have to work as hard. I still work hard though. You best believe that. But.
Right. You know, that's really common thing I've been noticing from like successful entrepreneurs is that they say exactly that. You know, when Luca came on, he said, I won't do anything that's a win-win. He said, I won't just sign on a client to get my, 20%, get my this fee or whatever and say, oh yeah, fuck these guys. They paid me. Like, you truly care. And I think we can talk a little bit more about the business side. And, I think me and Zeke talked earlier, and we're going to say we were going to talk about spirituality and how it kind of really connects to business, and not only business, but all areas of your life, right? And I definitely want to touch on meditation, and all the different things when it comes to just spirituality and how it relates to business. But I think that was a really good start, is understanding that if you, as a business owner, if you truly care about them versus the numbers, you will win. And I think you are an example of that. I'm an example of that. And we know so many other people in our circle that are an example of that.
100%. And a lot of people in our circle, they're becoming more and more spiritual, and they're seeing more and more gains. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, you know what? I kind of want to touch on that because I feel like you are the person that really, really got me into spirituality. You got me into thinking deeply. And I think you've done the same with all the other people in my circle, right? And my question to you is, I remember you before, I don't know if you were really into spirituality then, but when I first met you, you were the gym guy that loved going to the gym, that wanted to make money, very competitive. When did that transition, or, when did you really start taking spirituality seriously, or really start thinking deep about, life? Because I think you are one of those people that thinks deeply to a point where, I don't know how to explain it, in a good way, you know what I mean? Asking questions to yourself that will help yourself in the inside and really take care of the soul rather than just what's outside, So how did you get into this, and what really got you interested in this?
I've honestly always kind of been that guy that's always been like, but what's behind this? You know what I'm saying? But what's the deeper meaning to this? I remember from since I was 12, you know what I'm saying? After wrestling practice, I used to wrestle. I used to have a app that played chakra music, the chakras along the spine.
Yeah.
I used to listen to that right after practice and stuff. So I've always been kind of drawn to it, but things started really clicking. Honestly, when I started feeling pain in my life, man, when I started facing my own trials and tribulations, and I realized I want to be stronger. You know what I'm saying? I want to have a foundation of just mental and inner strength that will just basically allow no external things to have such an effect on my state, such an effect on how I feel about myself, such an effect on how I view things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who are seen as enlightened, you know what I'm saying, in the East, they say spirituality and all this stuff, it's not gaining certain things. It's about losing misery. It's about losing negativity. It's about losing hatred. And I feel just the need to lose all the things that could be holding me down really just, it really just attracted me to it when I started facing a girl rejecting me or I faced my own anxieties, and I was yo, I gotta level up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I gotta level up. And I did.
I think the lesson in that is a lot of people, I believe, resist those feelings, resist, those times. Let's say they're actually sad, they're going through something, they will say, no, I shouldn't feel like this. Oh, nah, you know what? I gotta go get back to working. And I think that's a wrong way of looking at it. I kind of want your perspective on it, to just kind of talk about the importance of what you did, which is really start thinking about inside what's deeper than just what's in the surface, right? Let's talk about the importance of that, and actually instead of resisting emotions, feeling the emotions and, using it.
Yep. So I was talking to a buddy of mine about a week ago, you know what I'm saying, Bobby Schmurder style. And he was telling me, and we were having a conversation on how the people who resist the pain the most, the people who try to numb themselves to the anxieties and the sadness the most, are the people that will be forced to face it the most. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because constantly pushing something away from you, isn't that basically saying that it has power over you? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If like constantly pushing it away is only going to bring it closer to you. Right. But when you accept it and you allow it to kind of go through you, you know what I'm saying? Instead of constantly like, pushing it away, that's when you could kind of get to the other side. Does it make sense?
Right. Like feeling the emotions rather than resisting it, because I believe, and I think we've talked about this, when you resist the emotion, what happens is you're putting so much energy into it that, it becomes a bigger force than what it was when you first felt it, right? So people think that resisting the emotions they feel or resisting how they feel, whether it be positive or negative, they think that that is actually the right thing to do. It's like, forget that I'm sad, get back to work. But that in the long run, I truly believe, and I think you can agree to this as well, is actually hurting them, right? And this kind of ties into the next point, and I think we had a little conversations about this the other week. But, we talked about, and I think I shared this quote with you, like success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure, right? Yes. And that is a very deep quote. And I wanted to talk to you about this because around this time when I was feeling that way, I remember me and you had a lot of conversation, looking at fulfillment rather than just a surface level of what society claims to be success. And I kind of wanted to touch on the topic of, being fulfilled, being happy inside, right? Versus just, chasing money, chasing success.
Okay. So I'm not on the end of either spectrum. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not on the spectrum that's like, money, nah, don't chase money. Okay. Just focus on inner peace and everything will be okay. Yeah. But I'm also not on the other extreme that's like, fuck everything else, gang, let's get this money, baby.
Yeah, get paid.
Yeah, get paid, money over everything, fuck everything else. I like to see myself that's just nice and in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I think that we should be on our missions. You know what I'm saying? No doubt about it. Because we're human beings. You know what I'm saying? We're meant to do stuff. We're not meant to be couch potatoes. We should be on missions. You know what I'm saying? But aside from your mission, you should always be working on yourself. Always be going out, but also spending time to go in. Just having that balance, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times your mission can also involve you kind of going in, you know what I'm saying? When me and you Splash, when we're helping other people, you know what I'm saying? We're helping ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like what you put out is going to be what you receive. And the way how I see things is like, yes, get the money because we need it to live. But it's like,
what I love to say.
I'm hitting him. No. Give me.
You're going to hit him.
Let me hit him.
Got it.
I heard a quote. It's better to travel well to arrive. Okay. So be on a mission, but don't be so goal oriented. You know what I'm saying? Be present while you're on the mission. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy every single moment of the mission. And even the times that aren't enjoyable, be fully present then. You know what I'm saying? Feel that sadness, feel the pains that you need to go through. And this is how I've been living recently. And from living like this, it's like when I win, when I have wins, yes, I enjoy them, but what's more enjoyable than the money or what's more enjoyable than the assets or material things that I gain is just the inner knowing that I did that shit. You know what I'm saying? I did it, you know what I'm saying? And I was fully present and 100% there. This might sound like some sort of mixture between Buddha and fucking and a businessman, but I think that's kind of the guy I am. What do you think about this, Splash?
I think that's amazing because I say the same thing. You know, as I am speaking, when there's a heart of a briefcase full of money behind me, what I say is like, detach yourself from money, but don't be delusional enough to think that it's not important. You know, money runs the world at the end of the day. If I want to come see you right now in New York, I have to pay money to get on an airplane, right? You can't be delusional to the reality of life, which is that money runs a lot of things, right? Not a lot of things. It runs the world, right? But I say detach yourself where, you know, if you lose $100, whatever, $10,000, whatever, you know, like I just want people to see money for what it is. A tool, a piece of paper. It's like, I see it as a key that opens many doors. You know what I mean?
100%.
But never put too much importance on that key. Like nowadays, and I think you can agree with this, for me, it's like my business goals have changed from, you know, $10K a month, $20K a month, $100K a month to, all right, I want to get 100 students inside of this program so they can change their life, or I want, you know, this to do that. Like really being more like change and business oriented versus monetary. And I've been sharing this a lot, but I'm telling you, this has been one of the biggest shifts in my life is when I stopped thinking so much about money, you know, and I stopped being just money motivated. And I want to share a quick story, and I think you remember this as well because we had a conversation about this. But I remember after a certain experience, which we're not going to talk about yet. I don't think they're ready for that. But I told you that a lot of goals I was chasing, what I realized was that a lot of goals that I was chasing wasn't really goals for me, and realizing that even if I achieved those goals, I wouldn't find true fulfillment because I've been there, you know what I mean? And I think I wanted to make people aware of the same thing is a lot of people that set monetary goals versus actual goals that they care for themselves versus a number in the bank account, number per month. Like, don't get me wrong, that's important as well. But once I started setting deeper goals that I truly cared about, I felt like not only was I would say I was more happy, you know what I mean? And I was also grateful that I came across that thinking early on is because I'm like, what if I spent my whole life, reaching that goal just to realize that it doesn't bring me fulfillment, right? That would, as Tony Robbins said, be the ultimate failure. And I think this relates a lot to what we're talking about now is really setting goals and being on your mission. You know what I mean? Being on your mission rather than just chasing money, right? Because chasing money, honestly, is just a rat race because once you hit a number, it's what's next, right? And I guess I kind of want you to touch on a little bit on that and, just the different conversations we've had when it comes to just fulfillment versus money or fulfillment with success.
I see it like money is a tool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Money, it's a tool. And I see it as like, if you want that time to have good experiences, if you want to be able to have the time to do the inner work on yourself and do the things that you want to have great experiences, you need it. You know what I'm saying? So get your bag, but realize that getting your bag doesn't need to be a dreadful experience. It doesn't need to be a super ego-oriented experience. In fact, it could be an enjoyable experience if you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Listen to holla at my boy Splash if you want a little advice on that. But sometimes you really just got to sit down and think like, yo, how could I get this bag while feeling good? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you could really do that, and it's not too difficult. You know what I'm saying? Some people say think about your passion and follow your passion, and yeah, like it could be that. It could be following your passion, but more than that, you really have to just think like, are my goals my goals, or are they social media's goals? Are they like pop culture's goals? And when you just kind of get off of just following what everybody else is following, you know what I'm saying, and you spend more time by yourself just thinking like, what would fulfill me? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you know these things, and then you think, what are some of the best ways to make money in 2020? It's not that hard to have a fulfilling mission. You know what I'm saying? Some of the best ways to make 2020, how to make money in 2020, online, being an online coach and having clients. You know what I'm saying? And something that fulfills me is teaching guys how to have just inner peace and teaching them how to just have successful dating lives. So boom, put 2 and 2 together, fulfilling mission, you know? And you could do that with so many other things.
That's just one example of many things you can do. You know what I mean? I think, listen, your goals are your goals, and this is not something that might come to you right away. You know, this might take years, you know, I wouldn't say years, but if you just start asking yourself questions and really start thinking, I think that's another thing as well, Zeke, is people don't take the time to think anymore. You know, we are so distracted, and even if we have alone time, we have music playing or something else playing that we don't take time to think. And I think it's so important for people to really take the time out of the day to think and really see what they truly want. Because like what you just said, so much of our life, our goals, what we want, our thoughts, our behaviors is influenced by social media and pop culture, that it becomes hard to differentiate, you know, your goals versus what you want to achieve so others see it. You know what I mean?
100%. So, guys, maybe consider doing a social media detox, or mute the people who show all the flashy cars and the ice and all that, and kind of think like, what would truly fulfill me? Honestly, I've been around guys with all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it may seem cool, but a lot of those people aren't that happy. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it firsthand, but some of the people that I know that are extremely happy are people who tend to have money. You know what I'm saying? They tend to have money, but the money isn't the mission. The money is a part of the mission. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the benefits of the mission, but the mission is something bigger than themselves.
That was a beautiful way of putting it, bro. Is like they make money, but not because they focus on money, but because they focus on their mission and their purpose. And, you know, and like you said, same thing with you. You make money by following your mission/purpose. Same with me. You know, like I get paid to help other entrepreneurs build their businesses, and same way, you know, and I think, like you said, like the money is good, but that this client success stories feels better. You know what I mean? To touch on the next topic, I wanted to talk about meditation. Okay. And the reason I wanted to talk about this, because I tell all my friends to start meditating consistently. And it seems that, you know, most of them, are not doing it. I mean, listen, it's their choice at the end of the day, but for the people, this is what I say, right? I want to help the people that want to be helped. And I know there's some people that are serious about life. And I kind of wanted to touch on the topic of meditation and why they should do it and how it could benefit them, and maybe just your experience, because I know you meditate more often than most normal people. I kind of want to hear your experience with meditating, what it has helped you with, what it might have helped you, lose, and why you think everybody should meditate.
Meditation will make you more powerful.
Agreed.
The normal person, you know what I'm saying? And by normal, I don't mean like finance. I mean, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Rich, poor, doesn't matter. They are a slave to their emotions. They're a slave to what other people think about them. And that's just how they're living. You know what I'm saying? And, they probably don't see themselves as a slave. They could be very successful externally, but internally they are very attached to external things. And when you're attached to external things, it's like none of your emotions are controlled by you. You know what I'm saying? Your state is never controlled by you. It's always controlled by external factors. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And what meditation does, it allows you to take your power back. You know what I'm saying? Spend time for yourself, just centering yourself. And once you center yourself and you do that over and over and over and over and over, some old lady could scream at you, and like you could, that same initial kind of like response, like, oh, yell back, it might come up still, you know what I'm saying? But you will let it go. Someone could say something mean to you, or someone could leave a negative comment on social media, and whereas your previous self would get all hurt and stuff, you might still initially feel a little bit hurt, but you would realize, oh, that's just my ego. Let me not even pay attention to this. So it's really just getting your power back.
Right.
It's getting your power back. And to the people who think it's gay or they don't want to do it,
you know, all this, like,
nah,
it's not.
Every single baller that me and Splash know spends time to center themselves.
People that if you look at them, you're like, there's no way that they meditate. We know they meditate. Like, that's the thing. And I want to quickly touch on this before you talk about your experience. Is I had the same experience, which is there was a delay between a circumstance and my reaction. And that delay was me saying, do I need to react to this? You know what I mean? So it's like, let's say you come and hit me, like, instead of reacting back and like getting mad at you, it's like, okay, calm down. Let's see this for what it is. And then just move on with it. Same thing, like you said, hate comments. And when you said bringing your power back, I want people to understand this. When you let someone else affect your emotions, you are literally giving them your power, because now they control you, your state, your emotions. And you know what? Your emotions control your thoughts and behaviors, right? So they're literally controlling you. So when Zeke says get your power back, he's not just saying it to say it. He literally means get your power back, not give other people power easily to influence how you feel, how you think, you know, what you do, right? And I think that is so, so important. And like you said, even with the emotions, it's like I recognize, or the thoughts, right? It's like I recognize my thoughts. After I started meditating, I started recognizing my thoughts for what they are, rather than, you know, giving into them and ruining my whole day because this thought came, right? Because a lot of people have that. And I've had this in the past as well, where I think of something in the past and I go, oh my God, what if? And then now the whole day I started thinking about that. And now, you know, all this work I had to do, I had to put it off because I'm not in the right mental state. And it's crazy to think that one little thought controlled your whole day, right? Versus you recognizing it for what it is and not giving it that power, and actually having power, you know, having your own power with you versus giving it to someone else, right? And I think that is so, so important. So I'm so glad that you shared that, man. And I think it's deeper than, you know, oh, getting my power back is a way of saying, you know, so just a fun thing to say. No, it's true. It's really true. You are truly getting your power back. But I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Go ahead and talk more about your.
Cut me off.
Yeah, go talk more about your experiences, you know, with meditation.
On countless occasions, I'll be in a certain mood. You know what I'm saying? Or I just won't feel that good, or something bad will happen, and then I'll realize, like, oh, I just got to go sit down. You know what I'm saying? Recenter myself, and it's like a new day. and I've done that, and it's basically just saving myself so much time, so much stress, so much pain. You know what I'm saying? So much pain that you could be saving yourself from going through. You know what I'm saying? It's really just, I think it's a key. I think
it helps in every area of your life, man. I don't know any area of your life that it doesn't help. And the reason we are spending so much time talking about this, guys, is I hope, you know, at least one person listening gets influenced by what we just talked about and starts taking on, you know, a meditation practice and does it consistently. Because let me tell you something, guys. I heard about meditation back in 2015. I really wish I was consistent from then to now, because I know for a fact I would be a complete different person, right? Of course, we're not going to talk about the past and what ifs, but I'm just saying it's better to start it now versus a year later when you realize that, oh, wow, you know, I should have done this a year ago. Because how many times have we had that, right? Like when we learned a lesson or we were told to do something and we put it off, and then that really helped us. And you're like, oh, my God, if I did it from the beginning, it would really, really, really help.
Even if it's 10 minutes.
Oh, come on.
5 minutes.
You have 10 minutes, man. You have 10 minutes. Come on.
You have 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Make it a rule. Every time you got to take a dump or something, meditate after. You know what I'm saying? It is so just, the return on investment is literally like
unreal.
It really is unreal. And I was talking to a very educated person who's meditated for upwards of 2 decades before. Oh, wow. And I was asking him, like, what are some of the benefits of just sitting down and focusing on your breath and just breath control, focusing on your breath. And he really just looked me in my eye and he told me, you want to do anything in life, what do you need? Focus. You need that concentration.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take the time to focus on your breath, a very simple meditation, when you want to do something, you will be able to fully execute that thing without any, or maybe not any, with way less internal fatigue and way less internal just BS going on. You will be able to fully go through the process. So right. When you take the time to meditate and focus on your breath, and a thought tries to take you away, but you recenter yourself, the thought about Susie or a thought about the job or whatever, and then you just constantly recenter yourself. When it's time for you to talk to that hot girl, and it's time for you to stay centered throughout the whole interaction and not let your emotions take control of you and then fucking run away, you'll be able to do that. When it's time for you to have a business meeting and you have to stay centered, grounded, and confident, you will be able to do that because you've basically trained your mind to be under your control instead of your emotions controlling you. It's taking your power back.
That is such a power. I'm so glad you shared that. I'm glad we stayed on this topic for a bit because I do think it's important. But to segue to the next point, I think we talked about how meditation and spirituality helps with your business life. But let's talk about another topic that you are very educated on and you actually help other men with, which is, having a better dating life, becoming a better version of yourself, right? And I think we had Max Maxim on the podcast a while ago, and it was an amazing episode. But I want to kind of touch on that topic and how, what we just talked about helps not only with business, but also your dating life. Because I know you touched upon it a little bit, but let's talk a little bit more about that.
How meditation helps with your dating life?
Meditation, spirituality, striving to become the best version of yourself, basically.
Hell yeah. Most people, they could be in relationships, they could even be in relationships. They are never there when they're with their partner. They are never there when they're at the club. They could say the right thing that would end up even getting them sex, but they were never even fully there. They just said a line, and it's like their brain was running them the whole time, but they were never fully in the present moment to even enjoy what they worked so hard for. Mm-hmm. Some guys will spend so much time learning how to game, but then it's finally time for them to game and get what they work so hard for. They can't even enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I've heard countless stories of pickup artists, you know what I'm saying? Right after they get laid, they're focused on the next one. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the next one, or I didn't even enjoy it. Oh, the girl just needs to be hotter. They think, it's the girl. Oh, she was an 8. So it's just because she wasn't a 10. You know what I'm saying? But no, my friend. I mean, maybe, but chances are, no, my friend, you just weren't fully there. You just weren't fully there to fully savor what you worked so hard for. So what all this meditation and what all this spirituality and all this stuff will really do to you is it will allow you to enjoy your life. If you are working and you are going through life with the mindset of, I just got to do this and then I'll be happy. I got to do this and then I will allow myself to fully enjoy the moment. You are literally training your mind to never be happy. Mm-hmm. But when you are going about your life with the mindset of, it's about the pathway, you know what I'm saying? It's about traveling well more than about arriving. Going back to the same quote I said before, it is better to travel well than to arrive. Once you focus on traveling well, once you focus on just being present with everything that you do, not only can you still get to the end and arrive, get what you were striving for, but you'll be able to enjoy it from A to Z.
Right.
You feel me, Splash?
I think that's so important to be present to whatever you do, because even I think you can agree with this, man, and this doesn't relate to girls, but I feel like a lot of people ruin their experience. Like, it's so funny to me. Like, they'll pay all this money for a vacation, all this money for a concert to not be present, to be on their phone, to be filming it rather than actually enjoying it, worry too much about, capturing it. And you know what? I've been there. You know what I mean? I've been there. Like, I've done that, right? And it ruined a lot of my experiences. But I remember the times where I said, you know what, no phone, nothing, I'm going to be here. And those are some of my favorite memories, like memories I remember to this day. And I think that's a really good point you made, is being present in whatever you do, right? Not only just experiences, whatever you like. Right now, me and you are very present. And that's why we're having this good conversation versus, let's say I was on my phone. Let's say you say something and you're like, oh, yeah, bro. So, you know what I mean? It's a big difference. This podcast wouldn't be as good. And it wouldn't be authentic to you, you know, because now I'm not present and you're giving me all your presence, but I'm not giving you all mine. And that's very selfish for me. And I think also, I guess this is I kind of want you to touch on this topic as well, because this relates to game, I guess, right? Okay. A quote I heard, and what I love is that, you know, you can be a great man or a great manipulator, right? Both of them take the same amount of energy, right? And I think I want you to talk about getting girls by becoming a better version of yourself versus the tactics to, wear this, say that, do this, right? Because I know the way you guys are helping men is it's not by doing that, like, wear a hat that makes you look this way. Say this line when you enter, like on some robot shit, right? Thinking humans are robots and you're A equals Z, then Z, like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of want you to touch on that, how you guys help your clients, you know, make change, not through the tactics, but actually changing who they are.
Okay. I first want to start off by saying that a lot of the time, manipulators are just doing what real men do naturally. Mm. When you build yourself up as a man, when you take the time to do outer work on yourself and really just build a good life for yourself, and also do inner work on yourself to become more confident, to become more just loving, have more love for yourself, you know what I'm saying, to have more courage, you know, to be more self-centered, you'll naturally do what some people may find manipulative. You will naturally have great body language. You will naturally look at girls in the right way. You will naturally say the right things, and like the right lines will freaking come out of your mouth. But when you go about it in the way of like, I gotta say that line, or I gotta do this, or I gotta do that, it's like the fruit isn't as sweet. It doesn't feel as good. You know what I'm saying? Just saying a bunch of lines and doing this, that, and the third just to get the girl. Because from what I've experienced myself, it's like, this wasn't really real. Like,
you were not present in that moment because you're so in your head of what I'm going to say. If she says this, I'm going to say that. If she does this, I'm going to do that. Or should I do, like, back to what we were saying, you're not present, you're not experiencing it. And I can see why you would say that it doesn't feel real. You know what I mean?
100%. And the goal is to be a real man. The goal is to be an alpha male. And think about it. Would a real man need to spend all of his time researching, how do I do this tactic? How do I do that tactic? What line should I say to do that? No. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the manipulation that can work. But rather than spending all your time manipulating, why not just build yourself up as a man? Not only will you naturally embody those, you might call them manipulative things, you know what I'm saying? It's just human nature. It's just something that you do when you're more confident in yourself and you're just a good man. But you'll also be able to be a good man in business. You'll be able to be a good man with your family. It's so much better of an investment just to actually be some people call it like a red-pilled man, or just be an alpha male and work on yourself.
I'll say authentic. Just be authentic to who you are and what you believe. You know what I mean? I think when you're doing that, people – and you know what? To your point, I think people notice the inconsistency when you are being the manipulator versus the man, because I actually think that it's easy to spot it, actually. You know what I mean? I think even I don't know about you, but when someone's trying too hard, when someone is acting a certain way and they're not consistent with who they are, you can tell, right? And it's a huge turnoff, because we like people that are authentic, and we are not really big fans of fakers. So it's they think that they're, I'm helping myself by doing this, but in actuality, it's actually hurting them in the back end.
Exactly. And a couple years down the line, you might just look back at yourself like, wow, I was such a freaking loser, spending so much time just learning these lines. Like I should have just invested in myself, and I should have just became a better person. You know what I'm saying? And I would have naturally said those cool things, because a man who's rational, a man who is just a red pill man, you know what I'm saying? Just a real man, you know what I'm saying? He's in a good state most of the time. And when you're in a good state, you naturally say lines that are going to make other people laugh, lines that are going to make other people look at you in a good way. You know what I'm saying? So you learn state control. You learn so much good stuff that just allows you to just live it up compared to being the manipulator. And when you're the manipulator, you're so right when you say people, or at least smart people, will look at you and they'll know, like, I don't really want to be around that person, because they're not real. They're literally fake. And it's just the inconsistency in character. A lot of people, if they know that you're doing it, they'll despise you. It's whack. Yeah,
it's a very big turn off. And before we move on, Zeke, I want you to just kind of let the people that are, listening, let them know more about, your business, your program, or your coaching, or, just go into detail for any of the guys who might be interested in working with you. Let them know about where they can reach out and what you actually do.
Sure. So if you want to naturally be able to do all the manipulation that all the PUAs and pickup artists do without having to become a gamer, you know what I'm saying, and just becoming a real ass man, knowing how to meditate, knowing how to take your power back from everybody else, and take your power back from your emotions and letting yourself be a slave to your emotions, then you can DM Get Better Game at Get Better Game Alpha 2020. And me or my partner Max will make sure that we get back to you, and we'll help you. Also, add me on Instagram at Zeke Spirituality, ZEKESREALITY, and that's where I'm at. So it's basically inner work and outer work. We show you how to just be a beast on the inside, and naturally you'll also be a beast on the outside.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Before we end this podcast, bro, I want to talk more about, I guess, you. You know what I'm saying? What are the things you are doing nowadays that are exciting you, or are you taking on any activities or different hobbies that might not be business related or, thing related, but I guess directly business?
Yeah, I do like a shit ton of strength yoga. That's really good. I really like just doing several kinds of training, you know what I'm saying? Not just trying to be I'm a bodybuilder or I'm into calisthenics, but really just having the benefits of training and of building up muscle, but also being flexible, you know what I'm saying? And that's something that I like to do when I'm out doing business. Also, something that is not talked about a lot, spending time with family. People should check out that new thing. Spending time with family. I've been doing a lot of that. It's really good. Just reconnecting to your roots, man. Reconnect to your roots. Learn about yourself. It'll do a lot for you. And spending time with people at a temple splash. I'll be doing that. I'm actually working on building up a new temple in Long Island. Sometimes I do some labor work, and I actually do that. I don't have to do it, but it's really just it's not the money that's motivating me. You know what I'm saying? It's the
You're doing it because you want to. You're doing it because you truly want to do it. It's not something you do because someone you're like. Yeah. It's from within. It's not for money. It's not for validation for someone else. It's true to who you are.
Facts, and that's the way how you should live. You should live life on your own terms. Mm-hmm. You could be a freaking billionaire and still like do something for somebody that you could pay somebody else to do just because you want to. Why not live life how you want to live life? You know what I'm saying, Splash?
I think that's a huge thing. You know what? I was going to end the podcast, but no, I want to talk about a topic that I think is very, very important. We kind of touched on ego a bit, right? And even there's a book called Ego is the Enemy. And what's crazy is I first read that book in high school, grade 12. It changed my whole life. I swear to God, there was this one line that changed my whole life, because it made me aware that a lot of my goals were not, what I wanted, but it was like what other people wanted from me, right? That's just one part. But recently I started re-listening to it again. And, I realized that, holy shit, like I got caught up in my ego again, right? And I think, or like I realized that a lot of things I was doing was very egoic, or like I let my ego control control certain situations because, I gave in to my emotions, right? And I think I just wanted to talk about the ego and what certain things you can do to really, I don't know what the word is, man, just like, calm it down and not let it just show out as much,
Spend time with other people who are also aware of egos. Of their ego. Literally, if you spend time around people who have humongous egos, people who are just, they become their ego. You know what I'm saying? They don't know, they're ignorant of life without their ego. It'll naturally encourage you to be all up in your ego. But when you hang around people who know how to detach, who know how to look at things from a more objective point of view, and who don't take things personal, you will naturally be encouraged to kind of to not be as egoic. You know what I'm saying? Right. Listening to some guys like Eckhart Tolle, just hell of people on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Search up Divine Light Awakening Center if you want some good YouTube advice on how to just disconnect from the BS in society and really just reconnect to yourself. Some other good things you could do are focus on your breath when you're working out. Focus on your breath throughout the day. And whenever you catch yourself about to just get angry or about to get controlled by an emotion, or whenever something happens that's not in your liking, or when life kind of just hits you with a punch that you weren't ready for, don't dive into it immediately. Separate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe just literally go to the bathroom and just recenter yourself if you have to. Know that you are not your ego, and that you're not your ego. Literally just reminding yourself that that's not you.
How do you define ego? I'm curious.
Ego as like that voice just that's all up in your head and kind of just makes your decisions for you. Instead of you consciously saying, okay, I want to do this. Okay, I want to do that.
Is that little voice that controls
that voice that's always ready to just decide, that's always ready to backlash, that's always ready to just roar. You know what I'm saying? Right. For most people, that always it wants to take. That when something good happens, it wants to hype itself up, but then when something bad happens, it wants to just say how everything's so bad. Think about the ego. Yeah, think about the ego. Eckhart Tolle said this. It's like a little kid. That voice that you may hear, that it's like a little kid. It's so quick to react. But when you're able to silence the ego and not identify with it, you become so much more mature in your life. Right. The ego is the enemy, yo. Slash, I'm gonna have to recheck that out.
Yeah, amazing book. Everybody listening, check it out as well. But Zeke, I want to really thank you for coming on this podcast, taking time out of your day to, have this conversation, help the people out, talk about topics that, you're really educated on. And, man, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that you did that. Thank you so much, bro.
Hey, man, thanks for inviting me. And thanks to you for listening, whoever you might be. Educate yourself, love yourself, learn about yourself, and live life on your own terms.
Love it. Guys, all of his links will be in the description. Please go follow him, check him out. And if you're interested in working with him, go ahead and DM him, right? Thank you so much for listening, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye. That is it for this episode of Keeping It Real, everybody. And if you guys did enjoy this episode, I just ask for a small favor, and that is to share this with someone that would benefit from this podcast, as I really want to grow this community and this podcast through word of mouth, right? From you guys sharing it or telling someone to mess with this podcast or listen to this podcast or posting us on Instagram. And by the way, guys, if you do post us on Instagram, please use the hashtag Keeping It Real and tag me at SplashmanPB just so I can see it, just so I can, stay connected with the family and interact with some of you guys. But yeah, like I said, if you guys want to keep in touch with me, my Instagram is at SplashmanPB. If you guys want to check out my YouTube where I drop amazing content and amazing value as well, just search my name, Rick Shidbusnith, and my channel will appear. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.